someone that reached out to me actually a few days ago, that was saying to me that they were like just really tired, and they're not happy, in all like the relationships that like, they're trying and stuff like that. And I was like, when was the last time you put all that energy into you? Like, when was the last time you actually took a moment to reset? And part of their problem in the assessment that we was able to come up with is realizing that they are addicted to people pleasing. And the problem with that is that you'll always show up to be what everybody else need, but you end up falling short simply because of the fact you never discovered who you really are, and not just what you have to offer that they ask you, but what are your dreams? What are your passions? Because when it's the coming together is not a neglecting of I. It
Right.
may be some areas that we sacrifice avenues, because sometimes maybe it's a timing issue, but it's a us flourishing.
Right.
But many of us do not take the time to really get to know ourselves and sit in sometimes seasons and moments in agony of that loneliness to like really, really discover and see what you made of outside of just what you got with somebody.
Right. But I think society also says that singleness is a death sentence, basically. Like, you see everybody with somebody. You don't know if they happy, they sad. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they off of social media, they could be beating up their wife or, being verbally abused by the woman. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you said before, you're taking these ideas, but I agree 100% on the getting to know you thing, because I think in this last year, I've had so many layers taken off of me just by the fact that I had to realize, codependency is like real.
Yeah, it is.
That's tied to, again, the traumas and all that kind of stuff. But the feeling of wanting to be needed, wanted, all that kind of stuff, and then you feel like here we go back to that fixing things, or if I'm apart, then it's going to be better, or not really taking consideration that it takes that individual's wanting to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no matter how long you stay in relationships, whether that's friendships or whatever, it's still a two-person thing. So
Certainly.
if you're the one that's, putting all the energy, you can't really expect for anything to come out that's ideal. Ideal is for everybody to live in harmony and, things to go right. But if you just keep, putting out, never really getting anything back in return, all that does really is dig you in a deeper hole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
To where when you do get by yourself, because this did happen to me, I almost had a breakdown, because it's kind of almost like it's a feeling of rejection, but at the same time, deep down, you kind of know that wasn't the best situation for you. You know what I'm saying? But not having enough, I guess, strength to walk away from it, because, people
See, that's what I just told you in the beginning. Yeah. I said, like this information, this information. You just, the thing about it is, now nobody is perfect, but ultimately, knowing yourself and obviously some aspects of this is trial and error. You've been in relationships before, because sometimes you will take on things you think you can handle, and only to discover, man, I really can't.
See, that's the thing that thinking back, it's, you never really know sometimes how things affect you. So you'll go into it thinking that everything will be okay, not knowing that it's possible for the outcome to be whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I think, well, I can't speak for everybody, but sometimes it is hard to have the heart for people to always think that things gonna be good in the end. And I don't myself, because I don't want to speak for nobody else, but I've been on two different spectrums. I was that person, 10 years ago. you wasn't finna get the opportunity to mess over me.
Yeah.
The minute I can sniff that I don't even want to deal with you. I went from that to being super soft. You know, we are the children, help the world.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, so like I'm in the middle right now.
Which, I mean, as you should be. I mean, we have to afford each other the opportunity to mess up. You know,
right.
Grace, nobody is perfect, but I think the notion a lot of times is, you know, can you handle it, and do you see like each other putting forth effort to really work on yourself, like to be a better person? Like, what kind of person do your values line up the same? Because that's another aspect. You know, a lot of times, you know, it doesn't work because our core values are not even the same. You know, what am I getting when I get you? A lot of times people show up with this, again, with what they think you want to hear or what they believe. And so they just kind of fishing. But when you're really true to you, like people who are authentically true to themselves ultimately show up with, this is who I am. This is what I'm working on. This is what I don't have. This is what I do have. Here's what you get when it comes with me. If this works, it works. If it doesn't, we ain't beefing.
Right.
Simply because of the fact when we dated, the information we collected about each other says we wouldn't be good people to stay.
Right. That's it's funny that you would say that too, because there was a question when I was looking over some of the content too, is do you think in relationships or people looking for a significant other, they always in their mind feel like they're the one put together and the person who they meet is the one who has to...
Yeah, pride. That is horrible. And
yeah, I find that a lot, though. It's almost like...
Who told you that?
Yeah, I listen to other podcasts, and I ain't going to say the name.
Yeah.
But their perception is like all because of their little bubble, and they've checked off all the boxes that they've set for themselves, not realizing that's not all inclusive to everybody else or anybody else's standards. And it's almost like, and I get the concept of you're the prize. I get that. But are you really? You know what I'm saying? Like you said before, it's like if you come in and you say it ain't nothing wrong with you, it's a problem.
No, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
It's a problem.
You're already, that lets me know right there you're narcissistic.
Yeah.
Automatically, right? Because, and the thing about it is that people a lot of times with this narcissistic mentality, behaviors and things like that, they always they're very analytical about finding always what's the problem with you. Never anything wrong with themselves. And I live by this truth. People who are more self-aware, they're a lot more humble.
Right.
A lot more gracious.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be, because it's right there in your face.
Yeah.
And if you're in tune with it, I mean,
yeah, you can't.
It's just what it is.
You can't be with somebody for a long time that don't see nothing wrong with themselves.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They too in love with their thought process. That's weird. Like no, I know you think like that, but that's wrong.
Yeah, I when I heard like they were having like this discussion, and it was like, you know, you can't discount what it is that you got going on and magnify. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
What's like that just don't make sense. Like, but I think sometimes too people think that it's especially men, like it's a weakness to be able to say I didn't make the mark in this area, that area. But if you can't come all the way put together separately and thinking that if all your boxes is filled, where does that other person fit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I think that sometimes it's almost like that people, guys, it's mostly guys, but some women too, I guess.
I want to hear this.
Know. They just it's like they want to be able to state that they're it. Like, I'm what you need.
Let's be real though.
I'm what you need.
Let's be real though.
Because I'm a man.
Let's be
And I didn't
real.
check these boxes off.
Let's be real though. How many places really allows him in society for him to say his shortcomings and he's accepted?
You're absolutely right.
So let's be realistic now.
It's not an excuse.
But how many? But who doesn't want to be accepted? So he's gonna, a lot of times he's gonna show up like that because of the fact he wants to be accepted. So if faking perfection makes you embrace me, it's not right, but it's for acceptance. The same way some women fake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here he go. We were talking about men, and he come talking about how some women.
No, let's be real.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair.
Think about it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if I mean, he's like, hey, he comes, he's like, hey, you know, my truth is I struggle with this and this and this. He's like, what kind of man is he? You know.
I mean, but if both people being real with themselves.
But in a society that we sell images, not really built on substance, that's the problem.
Yeah.
We don't show up as our authentic self.
But I feel
a lot of times.
That's true. But I feel like, and this is just my perspective, because I still, regardless to what that podcast you guys might have seen before, I feel like headship, leadership, and all that should come from the man.
Yeah,
it really should. Like,
I'm
like that's
not that. I'm not leaving that truth.
Let me be real. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Real women would recognize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say, hey, this, the woman that is the helpmate, whatever, if they're skilled in that area, they don't mind saying, oh, okay, that's all you working with on deficiency, but you got everything else. That's like gold to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you've gotten away from having to figure it all out. And that's the worst part about, to me, the dating part, figuring people out. It's like you exert so much energy trying to figure out whether or not this person is telling the truth, really is who he is, male or female. That's a whole nother, you know.
Right.
And then it's like you're putting on this image for what? Are you stuck in the past from the last girl, or you know what I'm saying? Are you in this space to where you ain't figured yourself out? Do you really not know? And you know, that's okay, but you know, just say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know a lot of people don't agree with that because they're so quick to say, "Oh, well, I ain't dealing with that," but you can be tricked into the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So which one is it? Are you gonna be tricked into it and then it come out and you still stay with that person? Or are you gonna be like, you know what, I didn't sign up for that, walk away and start over? You know, we as women, we have a problem with that because that's something we want to latch on, and it's like some of the mindset is a little bit of man is better than no man. And that's not healthy for really either party. But depending on the mindset, because you opened up with the savages, and that's part of it. They didn't just wake up one day and, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm going to break 10 men's heart today. They didn't. It was gradual over time, you know, going through relationships, you know, this person treating them this way.
Men get their hearts broken too, and I think we're gonna have to. No, ma'am, I am going to argue you down because that is a conversation that a lot of times we do not want to have in society because we're not. Let me tell you something. Men have a hard rap, man, because You got social media, and man ain't this, he ain't this. You got magazines, and man ain't this, and you got articles written by women who never been a man a day in their life telling men how to be men. That's number one. Sit down somewhere. I love you, ladies, but I'm serious. Sit down somewhere and stop trying to tell him what he's not, because the reality of it is that if you think about it, even when if in the context of marriage, because some of the things that we're defining, I think, has a lot to do with what you give in time, because some aspects of what we're talking about giving ourselves and having is in the context of a marriage, not in dating.
Right.
You know, and so that's a part of the problem too in society. We give marital benefits in dating. Now, ultimately he's looking for a wife. Mm-hmm. If he's serious about, that's where ultimately hopefully she's looking for a husband if you're serious. So you're able to see these qualities, but to have this expectation from each other that you giving me these benefits that are in the confinements of covenant in marriage, things like that. That's where we're already messing up, because we don't have healthy boundaries. We haven't established. You give me something to work towards. She's supposed to, when I say be mysterious, when I say mysterious, I'm not talking about mysterious in the sense of something weird or, but I'm saying she's chase worthy. There's constantly aspects of him about yourself that piques his interest, that gives him something to look forward to, because you got women as well. Get the man comes and literally he done latched onto you, but you give him nothing to look forward to. You're not changing. You're not evolving. He's progressing. His mind is opening up, and you want to stay what you were when y'all first met. Stop doing this. All of this is not just a man thing. Some of this it's a society. It can go men or women, but let's be real. There are times men have given their heart. They have given their last. How many times how many women, not all now, because there's some really good women out here, just like there's some really good men, but how many women don't treat him like he's a paycheck? Doesn't say, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking on what I have. Some men out here who them wasn't his children, but he came in, he played a role. He bust his butt to make sure that they had, and he provided. He hit sweat equity. Now, I'm not saying you're throwing money at her and thinking you can control her, but no, when I provide for you, hey, I work for that. Right. That's my hard-earned money. I have sweat equity to prove that you're worth doing it for. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's what a man's supposed to do. But do I appreciate you? Do I thank you? How do I treat you? When I talk to you about things that's wrong? Case in point, if she says she's offended, I'm supposed to say, let's work it out. I'm sorry. If I say you bother me, that's your problem. Now, see.
Ooh, that sounds a little personal.
No, I know these things from personal experiences and seeing people. It's a real thing. So I live by this rule in general. No. Nobody's going to make me feel like that I'm going to be the only person apologizing. If I'm saying I'm sorry, you going to say it too. I don't play that. So, sorry. I mean, I'm very passionate about that kind of stuff. Because I believe it goes both ways. I do not believe in the notion happy wife, happy life. I believe in happy spouse, as they say, happy house. Both individuals need to be happy. He may not tell you he's hurting, but why is he drinking so much? Why is he
you should be able to pick it up.
Why is he so excessive in drinking? Why is he disconnected? Why and for some traditionally, some rather be stuck at work all day rather than he's slow about coming home. These are is something on how was your day? How are things going on?
But that's a skill though too. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some people who've been in so many failed relationships, they don't know what to do in a good one.
But okay, I agree with that. But even though the relationship has failed, does it diminish the fact that these are qualities that I bring to a relationship or situation that says I want to treat people how I want to be treated? Ultimately, in my last situation, I may have been hurt.
Right. But
do that mean that I show up based upon what has happened? Because in that case, maybe you're not healed from that.
But y'all finna say you're proactive in processing and healing. Not everybody is. You know what I'm saying? Like, And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to the people who have to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go out into the world, you meet people, it's just trial and error, and none of the relationships are working. Nobody's talking.
But why is it
sit
not
down.
working? But then why is it not working?
If you never get chance to sit down and process it and talk it out, you don't know.
Yeah.
All you can do is think one or two things.
Yeah.
It's either them or it's me.
Yeah, I mean, but it's both of us in some regards, because even if it's more you than me, maybe it's more me than you, we all can learn something from
but
it.
if it is over before you can be able to figure all that stuff out, you're still going with residue of that to the next. And if that other person is willing, you know what I'm saying, to sit down and process, and see, that goes back to you being in tune with yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you never get that person that says, hey, what's going on with you? Sit down. And you just gonna keep it's there
And most of
until
the time,
something is triggered for you to respond in a certain way to see if he respond differently.
I agree. And most of the time, honestly, we have challenges being able to be confident in sharing what we need, because saying you need something comes off as weakness. And a lot of times, if you're in a situation, relationship, obviously, that makes it okay for you to say that you need something. Like, and I mean being there in a place where when you receive this person, or they tell you their truth, or they share with you the hardships of their life, that you're not using it as an opportunity, as a weapon later. This is not something to do that you can try to hurt me later. This is somebody confiding in you. So ultimately you're asking yourself, can I trust myself with the person? Now, going into a new situation, obviously you're assessing, you're seeing, hopefully you're definitely having a good time, but in exchange, what is these conversations really like? I think that's another part of my question a lot of times to a lot of people is like, when you go on these dates, like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, because I'd be like,
sometimes the stuff be so surface because people are scared to open up. You know what I'm saying?
even if it's not the deep, I mean, I'm not saying you got to tell me about what happened.
There you go
when
with the deep, dark secret.
Yeah, you don't have to. What I am saying is enough, just enough.
Like what? Give me an example, because you have said that a couple times.
Yeah, because I'm really wondering, what do people really be talking about? I mean, stuff like,
most people talk about work and stuff they into like right then. It's not, well, how did you treat your last person?
No, these comes on later, but I'm saying in the first. But I'm just wondering what happens. I mean, I'm not on these dates with you. How many of you done had, like 12? No, I'm just
You know what? He like to throw shade. He like to throw shade.
Let me stop bothering.
Yeah, dates for me don't be like. Yeah,
you seem like if you go on a date, you seem like you be like, I ain't got.
What the problem I have is, it's not a whole lot of intellectual people.
Yeah, I got
So
you.
it's like, we already talked about that. Why are we talking about that again? Like, okay, this person must really love they whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
and then,
shallow.
but see, I'm the person that be like, you know what? This is a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
This was, I said, but I mean, you gotta give me more than just.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Like, I can't. If I can't.
Intellect.